All life relies on the carbon cycle, the continuous exchange between plants, animals, and the environment. Human industrialization has thrown this ancient cycle out of balance. Today, concentrations of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere are roughly a third higher than they were before the Industrial Revolution, and ocean acidity has increased by about a third. Rutger de Graaf, an engineer who works to build floating cities, said, "It took 100 million years for nature to make all that fossil fuel, and we've burned it in 100 years. Every year, on average, we burn the equivalent of 1 million years of fossil fuels." Sustainability is not good enough. We need to restore the environment. We need to get the excess carbon out of the oceans and atmosphere and turn it back into fuel. The greatest power on Earth that can do this is algae. Here's how. Oil doesn't come from the dinosaurs. Fossil fuel is mostly the product of fossil algae. We put carbon into the environment by burning ancient algae. We take carbon out of the environment by growing new algae. Each algae cell is a tiny solar panel that stores the sun's energy and absorbs carbon. Whether we know it or not, our civilization runs on algae. Lissa Morgenthaler-Jones is a successful biotechnology investor. She and her husband Dave Jones founded Live Fuels, which they call a mini Manhattan project to turn algae into biofuel. Their goal is energy independence for the US. Lissa and Dave have invested their personal fortune in replacing fossil fuel with pond scum. They're so dedicated to this effort, they paid the US Department of Energy to revive algae biofuel research. When fuel derived from new algae becomes cheaper than fuel derived from ancient algae, the blue economy will begin, and it will fuel itself not with the carbon stored in the ground, but the carbon stored in the atmosphere and oceans. The blue economy will be based on nature's bioeconomy. Buckminster Fuller said, "Pollution is nothing but the resources we are not harvesting." Humanity pollutes only because we have been disregarding our ancient relationship with the sea. The ocean has always been the wellspring of life, and algae has been its solar-powered source of energy for 3.5 billion years. Algae is the keystone in the global carbon cycle. If we make algae the basis of our global economy, humanity will live in harmony with nature. Aquapreneurs, working to build floating cities on the ocean, believe we can build a blue-green civilization on blue-green algae. If you'd like to join the Blue Revolution, please become a member of the Seasteading Institute. We need collaborators. Click on the issue you care about below, and maybe we can convince you to join our growing seasteading community.